Hey, what's up, everybody? It's rock and roll comedian Don Jamieson, and you are listening right now to the thickest, girthiest podcast, Brutally Delicious.
Brutally delicious!
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. I am Bruce.
My name is Chris.
And today we've got comedian, rock and roll comedian extraordinaire, Don Jamieson.
You could call him a legend.
We could call him a legend. Some of you may know him from that metal show, but he's also done quite a bit of other stuff. He's on the road with other bands, and he's got his own podcast going on. So let's give it up for Don and try and get him on the line.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, we've got Don on the line. Don, meet my partner, Chris.
Hey, what's happening, dude?
Hey, how you doing, man?
All good, man. Just hanging out in Jersey, doing my thing.
Awesome. Hey,
Freezing
sorry.
your ass off?
Yeah, freezing your ass off.
Yeah, that's that time of year. Look, here we are. It's it's almost Christmas, so it is what it is. I got heat in my house. Not a problem.
What have you been up to? I know you're doing the podcast now. How's that going along?
Yeah, doing that Jamieson show now, and it's basically like that metal show, but just with me and
Right.
my version of it. For whatever it's worth. I sort of look at it like, I'm like Tony Iommi, keeping the Sabbath name alive with like Glenn Hughes singing and Tony Martin and Ian Gillan, like all those years you wondered, like, why is he doing this? Why doesn't he just, like Sabbath's already legendary. Why is he still doing it? It's because, you're trying to keep the spirit alive, man. And sure enough, we got Ozzy back again in the band. We got Dio back again in the band. So I always hold out hope, me and the boys will get back together and get back to business.
I want to get to that in a second, but before I do, you mentioned Sabbath with Gillan. That is one of my favorite Sabbath records.
It's definitely become a cult favorite, with Sabbath fans over the last bunch of years. I know we talked about it on our metal show, and it's a totally solid record. It's kind of Sabbath. It really is a merger between Sabbath and Purple.
Yes.
I guess it could have been called Black Purple or Deep Sabbath or whatever, but I would have loved to check it out right now. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like Stonehenge and Disturbing the Priest and that kind of stuff. I really dig it.
Yeah, Eddie Trunk did a top 20 Sabbath songs on his Sirius XM show in the daytime, and I put Disturbing the Priest as a top 20 of all time. That includes Ozzy and Dio. So
Yeah,
I
even Thrashed was good, or Trashed, I don't remember what it's called, but
Trash.
yeah, good stuff. Anyway, I digress. Sorry about that. But do you guys still keep in touch, the three of you, or?
No, this is the kind of minutia metalheads get into. So let's never apologize for talking about this crazy stuff that we love, because that was the idea of that metal show. Is like, let's just talk about this stuff as three fans of it sitting around,
Right.
And sometimes we would, all the top fives and the debates and the throwdowns we had, that was just all about, like, let's, everyone's a geek about, something they love. We're just, we're metal geeks. So,
Right.
all this little stuff that we talk about that we could sit and talk about for hours. I love that stuff. I end up talking to after stand-up shows with people. I'll do like an hour pass. And we talked about the Born Again album because we get into this stuff.
Yeah.
Like this stuff really needs something to it. So
And it's really weird, though, that you could be anywhere and meet somebody for the first time, wherever you are, even in like overseas somewhere, and you could just sit and talk to them, and there's that immediate connection, and you're already, just like you said, talking metal minutia.
Right, exactly. That's the whole thing. It's a global thing. It's sort of like, if you're in the sports, like I am, you could talk to any girlfriend's dad.
Right.
And have him
Right.
on your side. Because you're sitting there in the living room. You're about to take his daughter out and try to finger bang her, like in the woods on your first date. And but if you could talk sports with the dad, he'd feel at least a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd let her stay out till midnight.
Well, maybe I should bring up a little football here.
Nice. Anyway, so
That's great.
do the
It's one
three of
thing-
you
it's
still
one thing
talk?
Bruce and I talk.
Go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
What's that, Bruce?
Go.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's one thing that Bruce and I always talk about with the metal community is that it doesn't matter where you are, you know, you can meet someone and next thing you know, you're buying each other beers and it's metal and it's a family in a way, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And to finally answer the original question is, yeah, of course, you know, Eddie and myself and Jim all still talk. We all still go to shows together. I always say to the guys, like, when we go to a show together and we're sitting backstage on, you know, sitting on the road cases and talking to, you know, one of the band members or something, I'm like, you know, see, we're still doing the show. We're just not getting paid and we have no cameras. You know,
Right.
That's the idea, is just to sit around and hang, you know.
Right.
So, still kind of doing it, but no one's seeing it except us.
Excellent. You're still, I mean, you still do stand-up as well. How do you keep up with all the demands? I mean, with the podcast going and the you know, stand-up as well, because you do quite a bit of dates, don't you?
Well, yeah, you know, Jim and I obviously, you know, we were doing stand-up, you know, prior to that metal show. So, same as Eddie was doing radio prior, you know, to us doing the TV show. So, you know, basically after the show and the whole channel, by the way, went off the air, you know, we just all kind of continued doing what we were doing. But the cool thing for me, anyway, is like I had a new wrinkle to my career, which was, you know, I go out. Obviously, I still play the comedy clubs, but now I go out and I have bands that go out on the road with them all the time now, and I really love doing that. You know, love going out on the road and being on the tour bus and getting out there with the bands, because you get the brotherhood of, you know, going town to town with the band, and now, you know, tomorrow night we're going to be here, and the next night we're going to, you know, kick Kansas City's ass and all that. But you're not in the band, so you have none of the dramas. You know, I have no equipment. You know, I just, you know, I just put my dirty jokes in my pocket and I go.
Right.
Yeah, you're not humping gear in and out or like dealing with any of that. But here's the question. So I had some friends that were touring through Europe, and they had this rule on the tour bus, which was called ass to ass. Is that a rule you follow?
What is it called?
Ass. It's called ass to ass. So when you pass each other on the tour bus in the hall, you can never go front to front. You have to go ass to ass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I usually try not to, you know, get that close to guys and bands, because, like, especially because I went out with, like, you know, I went out with Zach Wild over the summer. So, you know, touring with Zach in August, and, you know, the guy is famous. You know, he once went 77 days without showering. So,
Nice.
not looking to get too close to the boss man on the bus, you know.
That's a cool gig you have though, opening for like bands, because you're anybody in the metal community recognize you immediately, so you've got a built-in audience, right?
Yeah, man, it definitely makes it less weird for the crowd. And I keep that set, like I call it my sex, drugs, and rock and roll set. So it's, you know, I keep at least the comedy in that family. I'm not up there talking about politics or how cute puppies and kittens are and how babies poop in their diapers. You know, I'm talking about Motley Crue and Kiss and Ozzy and Black Sabbath and all that stuff. So, you know, I try to keep it in that vein, and, you know, it's crazy now. I did 4 national tours, you know, this year. We just announced today, the UK, myself and Biff Byford from Saxon.
Oh, nice.
Doing a solo tour. I'm going to go open those shows in the UK, and then we have some Europe dates. So, yeah, man, it's become a really cool thing because of the show, and bands are really now digging it because, like I said, I'm just one guy on the tour bus. I don't have any equipment.
Right.
It's not 4 other guys bringing all their drama and that kind of stuff on the bus. And, you know, I'm a pretty basic guy, you know. I mean, what you saw on the show, that's who I am. I'm jeans and T-shirt and my sideburns. That's all I have, you know. I'm easy to get along with, so.
Do you find it difficult?
It's been cool.
Excellent. Do you find it difficult going from like smaller intimate comedy clubs to big arenas or big venues?
Well, I think that it's more in the delivery than the size of the venue, because with the rock crowd, you got to go out and just start hammering these guys. It's people, they've been standing up for a few hours, they've been drinking for several hours, and you got to come right out of the gate and just pound away at these guys. In a comedy club, people, I always have to remind myself when I get off a tour and I go back to the comedy club, say, okay, remember, Don, relax. Take your time. These people who are seated, they know there's a comedy show. They have a reasonable amount of alcohol, and so it's more that than my instinct of coming out and just attacking. So that's the main difference to me. But when I first started doing comedy, I started out. I didn't play comedy clubs. I played bars.
Right.
Like they put a case of beer on the corner of the bar for a stage, and you have a microphone, and then you just try to scream at all the drunks at the bar. So, it's like I've already had that training.
Right.
Hey, so you brought up Motley Crue. How do you feel about them tearing up their cessation of touring agreement and going on the road again?
Yeah, I caused a little.
You sure did.
Listen, I said it right in the clip, and I said it in 2014 on that metal show, right to Mick Mars, that I don't believe it's the end, and I didn't think they were doing it to scam their fans or anything, but everybody thinks it's the end, and so they retire, and then they go a couple of years pass by, and they're like, now what am I going to do? Well, it's like an athlete who has to retire, but retire at a certain, because they just can't do it anymore, they just physically can't do it. When you have a bunch of musicians, there's no reason to ever say retire. The mistake they made is making it like WWE tactics where, okay, that's his contract and it can't be broken, and then the next thing they're putting dynamite to it and exploding it. So I never thought it meant anything to begin with. And like I said on the show to Mitch, I did 10 farewell tours. I'll be at all of them. So I understand who are angry, but, for me it was like, at this point, are we really believing anybody's done? Do you think Slayer is really done? Come on.
No, I saw a post the other day that says, mark my words, 2025, Slayer reunion tour.
Really? You think they're going to be back?
Absolutely. You tell me who hasn't, and then we can have a discussion.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I would like to see them ride out into the sunset on a high note rather than dragging it through the mud 40 years later.
Right, and Eddie's always said that, and I agree with that. But here's the thing, man. Again, it's like if these guys could get out and play, then there's no reason for them to not do it. Like I have friends just on the Stones for the first time, recently, and they said it was amazing. So there's never a reason to say it's over. You can say, hey, we're getting older, we're probably we might tour less or whatever, but there's no reason until you can't physically do it anymore. If you can still play at a high level, why say anything? It doesn't make any sense. Like what? People making jokes about the Stones being old, like in the late 80s on late night talk shows. And here it is, 2020, they're still playing.
Right.
Why not? What's Keith Richards going to do if he's not playing guitar in the Stones? If he came into your office and looking for an accounting job, you'd be like, get this homeless guy out of here.
Right. And see, I think what you said is right, though. I think the playing at a high level is the key, because not a lot of these guys are playing at high level, or a good portion of them are not playing at the high level.
Right, so that's the difference. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a killer summer tour. The fans will all be there, and again, I feel bad for the fans who really bought into it. But saw that one coming a mile away, and I stuck to my guns on it, and I was redeemed.
Yeah, who's getting free tickets?
Yeah, that's the question. Who's got the free tickets now?
Yeah, probably not me for causing all that trouble.
Right. You have the no admittance ban.
Yeah, I saw Poison for tour.
Nick,
go ahead.
What's that?
I was going to say, I saw the Poison. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, man. I was going to say nobody from Motley like blocked me on any social media, so I think I'm still in.
Yeah, still good. That's good.
With those guys, but if I show up with a ticket and they don't let me in, I'll know they're still bad.
Yep. And it is what it is. You called it.
Yeah, I saw the Poison Def Leppard Tesla tour. What was it, 2 years ago or something? They came through, and Poison is still at a super high level. Like in terms of what they do, they haven't changed. They're still just as good, if not better, live than they were at the time. You know,
yeah, I think
at least
the good thing about Poison is they haven't run it into the ground. Like there's years that have gone by where they haven't played.
Right.
So I think those breaks have been good for them, and I agree, man. I saw them, was it 2 summers ago? It was Poison, Cheap Trick, and actually Pop Evil. And that, what a great show. It's a great summer show. So can you imagine Poison with Motley and Def Leppard and Joan Jett? And that's going to be killer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be good. I just hope, hopefully no one takes offense to this. I just hope that Vince can sing, I'm not worried about the rest of Motley, but I don't know about Vince. I saw them on their farewell tour, and it was kind of sad. The band was so good, but Vince just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they were doing a ton of dates. I've seen Vince really pull out some great shows over the years, but yeah, sometimes you go to see him and you're like, he didn't have it tonight. So, look, we all know he's never been Robert Plant, so we know that.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so whether or not he can, let's see him get through these dates, these summer dates, and I think I always want to believe, he'll get his voice in shape and he'll get out there and do it. The good thing is he sings with a solo band, so he doesn't he keeps his voice pretty active.
Right.
So hopefully, I agree. I think that's what most people's concern are. But I saw Vince a couple of years ago with a solo band. He sang. So.
Man, that's one thing about Vince. That guy loves fucking rock and roll.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like imagine going from playing like stadiums and arenas your whole life, and then the band breaks up, and you're like, well, I better go on a club tour because I just want to keep rocking.
Yeah, he keeps going.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. He'll do a Molly tour, and then 2 days later, you'll see a clip on Blabbermouth of him playing for 200 people at a club in Seattle. Like he took one day off and he's back playing like what Joey Belladonna does with Anthrax. He'll go out and tour the world with Anthrax, and then he'll play for 100 people in the local bar in his town in upstate New York. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So you can't say that they don't like to rock.
For sure.
Yeah.
Chris, you have anything else before I get into my fun stuff?
I don't know.
So, Don, I'm pretty sure, I doubt you've listened to this show, but we try and have a little bit of a fun at the end here with some, I call them the Furious Five, really fucked up questions. I think you're the perfect candidate for it, if you don't mind. We do it with everybody, just to be sure we do it with everybody, but I think we should get some good answers out of you, and I know you've got a sense of humor already, so if you don't mind, we could spend the next few minutes doing that.
I don't mind. I've been asked pretty much everything at this point, so go ahead.
Oh, really? Well, let's see if I can top that for you.
The Brutally Delicious, Furious Five.
He's really going to shit the bed here.
If you hate them, we can move on. But name something a man might wear a long time before cleaning.
So a man might wear a long time before cleaning?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know what I'm trying not to give the obvious.
Right, everybody goes there.
Which is underwear, but because my first thought was underwear, which is probably everybody's.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking of my friend Richard Christie from the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
The diaper to concert. So I'd say concert.
That's great. Also, we haven't had that one. That's beautiful.
He wears a diaper at a concert?
Yeah, it makes sense if you think about it, because when he sees his favorite bands, he doesn't want to miss one song, but he wants to drink beer the whole night. So it's perfect for him. Like the diaper.
Fuck. I'm on my way to Costco after this. I'm going to buy some fucking diapers.
Yeah, I didn't know when I was first going to shows with them. I was wondering what that squishing sound was the whole time.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, you ready? And try not to go with the
Yeah.
obvious on this one, too. Name something you like to be alone to do.
All right, okay. I'd like to be alone to do. Well, besides, watch Hallmark Christmas movies and
Right.
sip chamomile tea. Yeah, for me, just writing, that's a real solitary thing. I even leave my house because there's just too many distractions between my turntable and, all my audio and video equipment and TVs and phones and all that stuff. So I have 3 or 4 spots around town where I just go, I sit and have lunch, and I'll sit there for 2 hours and eat and drink coffee, and they know me in there. They don't rush me. And I just sit there with my little note cards and I write. So, yeah, for me, that's I have to be real focused on that. So it's, writing the new material, that's always alone time.
Okay. Are we still cool? A couple more?
I know what you're saying. I know the answer you're looking for is masturbating. But I would actually like to do that in public.
I was waiting for you to get to it, but that's great.
After, who was that comedian that was caught masturbating in front of everyone?
Pee Wee Herman.
That was his deal.
Louis C.K.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, Louis C.K. I thought it just became the norm, masturbating in public. I don't know.
Didn't Pee Wee do that back in the day?
Did what?
I think Pee Wee did that back in the day, too, didn't he?
Well, he got caught
in the movie theater and, yeah.
Which is public anyway. All right. Anyway, let's. Are we still good? Let's see. Name 2 things you can spread.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. 2 things you can spread.
You can go high road or low road on this one, I guess.
Look, have you heard my comedy act? I always go for the low brow. With you guys, I'm actually trying to be a little more clever.
No, that's fine. I appreciate it.
Okay, so besides the obvious things that you could spread, you could spread the wealth.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Not for me anymore because I don't have a TV show, but
right.
Spread, and you can spread something on a piece of bread that you like.
There you go.
Some peanut butter, maybe some I don't know, whatever.
Awesome.
I can't think of anything.
All right, 2 more, and I appreciate you taking the high road again. But let's see what.
Because you can spread the obvious and then spread something down there. But that's a whole other thing.
Jesus.
Spread the legs.
Hey, are you a golfer by any chance, Don?
I am not.
You are not. All right, so we're going to skip that one. Let's see. How many hairs are there in the average human eyebrow? 100, 550, or 1050?
Well, it depends on whether you're Martin Scorsese or not.
Nice.
For him, I would say that the highest amount. But I have weird, Scorsese hairs in my eyebrows too, so I have to actually manscape my eyebrows. So
nice.
I'd probably put myself in that category. So I'll say, what was it, 10,000?
Yeah, it was 1050, 550, or 100.
I'll go 1050.
Yeah, the answer is 550 according to the Googles, but if you're gonna add you or Scorsese, and then we're gonna go with that, so we'll give it to you. And then the last one is gynophobia is an irrational fear of what?
Gynophobia?
Yeah.
So then we go back to the whole spreading thing. Fear of gynecologists. Come on, you guys know that.
Excellent. The correct answer is the fear of women, but we're good enough.
Afraid of women that what?
I said we're good enough. The answer actually was the fear of women.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can use that in your stand-up and give me credit for it.
Absolutely will, for sure, man.
Gynophobia.
Well, Don,
I'll take a punchline or a premise from anybody, trust me.
there you go. That's all I've got, Don. I appreciate you taking the time. Before we go, though.